Shen Wulong is more than likely the strongest character in the Kengan verse so far. As the potential leader of the worms that has multiple powerhouses at their disposal, such as Edward Wu, Fei, Yanji, and many others, Shen seems to be at a completely different level even when described by Zai Ji, saying, "He's not even all that angry, he's just a tiny bit miffed that I didn't answer him. I mean, what did I expect? Nothing compared to him." Today we'll be looking at his potential fighting style, as there are many surprising amount of hints to what that fighting style will be. But before we get into that, don't forget to like and sub if you like the video. I cover Kengan content all the time, and there are many more topics I'm going to cover and analysis, so tune in for those. But without further ado, let's carry on with the video. The first and probably most important thing is that Shen is clearly from China, or has lived there for a substantial amount of time, since the majority of his forces or high-ranking fighters are from China. As such, it is more than likely the case that Shen has some form of Chinese wushu. However, that doesn't narrow it down enough. Shen is known as the connector. The connector usually carries the soul of someone who has already passed on. For example, this is true of the Wu Hei clan. The Wu Hei clan use Han Sheng to make the connector through their children or clones. However, Gilbert Wu killed his uncle, who stated that he had the last memories of Wu Hei. In fact, Gilbert Wu doesn't even seem to like wanting to serve anyone, saying, "Wu Hei is a thing of the past now. I'm the only ruler we need." This is more than likely the case, a result of Gilbert Wu not receiving the full memories of Wu Hei, as we do not see this type of attitude with Edward Wu. Edward Wu said that Wu Hei's personality doesn't want to serve anyone else, and because of that, Edward had the clones serve one person, creating a chain of hierarchy where he stood at the top. This is important as we see Gilbert Wu later on seem to have a great admiration for the connector after meeting him, which surprises his subordinate, further solidifying the fact that Gilbert Wu had no plans to serve anyone. This opens up the following possibilities. The first is that the connector probably managed to subdue Gilbert Wu and make Gilbert Wu serve him. The second possibility is that the connector completed the Shang process. The second possibility could mean that the connector may not have one person dwelling within him, but rather multiple. This could open up the possibility of Shen Wulong knowing Wu clan techniques. Although Yin Shang isn't necessary for Shen to know the Wu clan techniques, it is still a possibility. However, a far more likely fighting style is the one that we see even in Kengan Ashura, the Heavenly Wolf Fist. That's right, Ren is going to actually be important now. The origins of the Heavenly Wolf Fist techniques is actually unknown. However, the first time we actually see it, the narrator says in a flashback, "They suddenly appeared in the maelstrom of battle. They overwhelmed the Chinese army with their unidentified martial art." The first time this martial arts is used is against the Chinese army, and more than likely in China. And even when the origins of the martial arts is talked about, it is referred to as a Japanese style Chinese wushu. This goes to show that the Heavenly Wolf Fist is actually a variation of another martial art, meaning that someone from China probably taught the first users the martial arts itself. And no more is that clear than in the name itself. It is called the Heavenly Wolf Fist. However, in Ren's fight against Setsuna, we get to see some of the symbolic images of the Heavenly Wolf Fist, and it is not a wolf that we see as a part of its imagery, but rather that looks like a dragon. But ultimately, what seals the deal is the stance itself. In chapter 0, the very first chapter, we see two fighters face off. One of them, specifically the one with the mask on, is assumed to be the connector himself. And if that is true, and the other fighter is Ryuki, we see an exact parallel image in chapter 1, where Ren prepares to fight Ryuki. So, in conclusion, I think there are multiple hints to the fighting style of Shen Wulong, also known as the Connector, from the Wu Clan techniques to even the brainwashing techniques of the Heavenly Wolf Fist. A lot of the Chinese wushu seems to be deeply rooted within the worms, and thus it's okay to assume that it's also going to be rooted within Shen Wulong. And the name of this fighting style will more than likely be the Heavenly Dragon Fist. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, sub. Pretty short one, but really, you get the point, right? I mean, subscribe for more Kengan content, as there's many more videos coming. And yeah, take it easy.